On behalf of the Food Safety and Security Foundation, FSSF, and the Global Harmonization Initiative, GHI, I'm happy to introduce you to Belinda Meiring, an associate professor at the Department of Biotechnology and Food Technology at the Tshwane University of Technology in Pretoria in South Africa. Professor, thank you very much for being here. You are an academic and an educator. Why did you decide to establish such a food safety education program on your campus?
Because we had a significant escalation in foodborne illness incidents in South Africa during the last quarter of 2024, where there was over 890 reported cases and more than 20 deaths. And many of these deaths were school children.
And you're an academic, so you do your research. So allow me to ask you, what exactly caused these outbreaks, these foodborne illnesses in the first place?
It's a combination of factors. So if we look at the National Institute for Communicable Diseases, there are incidents of bacterial food infections such as non-typhoidal salmonellosis, Campylobacter infections, and also listeriosis. There are incidents where there were product recalls based on mycotoxin contamination, specifically aflatoxins and patulin. But then the recent incidents that caused the deaths and so many incidents was actually due to food poisoning due to street pesticides. So these are pesticides that are approved for agricultural use for licensed applications such as nematode control in agricultural products, but they are used illegally in the townships to control rodents. And then the pesticide pellets contaminate food at in some cases, illegal food repackaging facilities. And that's what caused the tragic deaths in the recent cases.
How do you consider that food safety education programs can contribute to improving this situation?
So the problem is actually very much broader than just food safety training and awareness, because it's due to the socioeconomic conditions and lack of waste control in the informal settlements that cause the problem with rodents, and then the use of illegal street pesticides, which tragically, unintentionally poisoned some people. So that's a bigger problem that we cannot really address on the scale that we are trying to contribute.
While I assume that you would welcome some additional funding to scale up your food safety education program scope in your region, you have not been sitting still, Professor, because you have established a pilot program, if I'm not mistaken. What kind of activities did you deploy within that pilot program?
In our pilot project, we did a variety of activities. So we did an introduction to sensory science and flavor perception. We did an activity on microorganisms and food spoilage, which Prof. Thierry maybe can elaborate more because he was the lead on that. Also on the hand washing and hand hygiene activity. And then we also included colleagues from our somatology department, and we had a mindful movement and self-awareness and well-being session. And lastly, we had a session on food safety principles for the kitchen staff preparing the school meals, because these schools are also part of a government feeding project where there's then kitchen staff preparing food for the school meals. So we had a very wide range of activities, and we had excellent feedback from the school and also from the learners. But I feel we are not addressing the underlying problem, which is food insecurity and poverty, although I feel the educational activities are very valuable in just creating awareness and opening the world for these students in small communities.
Last question, what do you want to do next, and what could you do, what would you do with a potential donation from one of our sponsor companies here at FSSF?
Right. To start with, I would like to collaborate and network more with the other school food safety clubs to exchange best practices, because our project for now was just a pilot project. And personally, I would like to expand the training on home food preservation, for which we would then need certain basic resources, for example, to demonstrate home canning procedures of, say, making jams from indigenous fruits, or even say something like a tomato relish, a high acid product that would be safe to can in a home environment. And then to continue with the school children, just basic um, food safety awareness, food science and technology awareness, and keeping that holistic approach, even including our colleagues from nursing science and from somatology, because we found that the students really enjoyed the holistic approach with the different types of activities. So not only looking at food safety and food security as per se, but looking at the holistic well-being of the students in whose lives we are trying to make a difference.
Thank you, Dr. Belinda Meiring, for your voluntary work in service of improving food safety and security in your part of the world. And dear viewer, if you think that this project really aligns with your personal or corporate social responsibility agenda, then please feel free to contact us and to establish a relationship with this project in South Africa. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.